with what we had on last night, if you will, rather last morning, if you woke up Tuesday morning at 6 o'clock. Naoya Inoue, the monster himself, has now become a two-time undisputed champion. Bantamweight and super bantamweight. This brother knocked out Tapales in round 10 in a fight that was phenomenal to watch. My goodness, that would get you some coffee if you were up in the morning for that fight. This fight was great. It was a great fight all around. Showed Inoue's full arsenal of ability and gave Tapales much respect because he fought better than any of us gave him credit for, myself included, for that fight. I didn't get to predict the fight, but if I did, I was going to predict Inoue wins by KO. That's what I had in the back of my mind. And I said it was going to be early. But no. That fight ended up happening, and he won. But it was some work. Now, he dominated every round. Yes, he did. And outside of round, or was it round, was 10? Was it round 9 or 10? One of the later rounds, he did lose because the Tapales was putting in some serious stuff. But for the most part, Inoue fought phenomenal. Gauge distance well, was able to move in and out. His jab was as sharp as ever, going to the body just like he did against Stephen Fulton. Was countering Tapales all night long. His speed was incredible. His power was phenomenal. Thudding shots all night long. Opened up on Tapales when he thought he had him hurt. Knocked him down early, I believe in round 3. And it seemed like it was going to be a fight that, hey, Inoue just handles business, moves up, and puts in work. Plain and simple. But then what we saw would tell the story of this whole fight. This fight was 3 fights in one. First 3 rounds, Inoue doing what he did. Domination by Inoue. Masterclass in boxing and full display of his arsenal and power. Then, after round 4 or 5, adaptation from Tapales, leading to jabs getting through Inoue's guard, hooks around Inoue's guard, and turning this fight into an outright infighting war. From rounds 4 to like 7. My goodness. You want to talk about entertaining. But after that Tapales knockdown, Tapales said, okay, all right, change his style. And they stood in the ring, head to head, and just started going. And this was infighting like we used to see in the 70s, in the 60s, in the 50s. You standing in the middle, both of y'all are right there. Guards up, and you finding angles. Uppercuts, hooks to the body, hooks to the head. Trades, consistently. Not moving an inch. That's what this fight was in the mid half of the fight. It turned into an outright infighting war. And it was so spectacular to see. Tapales was landing big shots on Inoue around his guard as he stood in the middle of the ring. Consistently. Walk right hand. Excuse me. Left hand, because he's a southpaw. My apology. Left hands around the guard. Uppercuts through the guard. Anyway, trading right back, landing combination shots to the body, into the head. Thudding shots. It was just, nobody was budging. It was so spectacular. I have been telling you all, these fighters in these lower weight classes, they go to war. You all just don't know them because they're not Tank Davis. They're not Ryan Garcia. They're not Alexander Usyk. They're not Tyson Fury. They're not big names, quote unquote, only because they fight over in other countries. These people in these lower weight classes can crack, can pop. This was a fight. This was a real fight. And I mean, every time Inoue seemingly was going to have the upper hand, Tapales kept coming back and showing new facets of his game that made Inoue have to really think. Inoue was having a real time against a real fighter. It was adaptation to adaptation. Again, this is not saying Inoue was struggling. I'm saying Inoue had to legitimately put his best out there. That's not to say that he was overwhelmed or, oh my gosh. No, this was a performance of incredible proportions in terms of what they both did as boxers. Inoue had to use his fullest arsenal against a game fighter that everybody underestimated, but should have had a lot more respect, for myself included. But to keep back on track about the fight. Infighting, uppercuts and hooks from both fighters, standing in the middle of the ring, thudding, not moving an inch, consistently walking each other down, forcing each other to say, "You're going to feel my power." Consistently. It was great. And then in the later rounds, or rather, as that infighting kept going, when they would exit, Tapales would start landing that jab through the guard. Started landing hooks and uppercuts even outside of infighting around Inoue. Catching him clean. Caught him very clean at one point with a hook that was like, oh shoot, wait a minute. That was one of the biggest shots I've seen Inoue ever take. He landed the biggest shot I've seen Inoue take since Nonito Donaire in their first fight that was Fight of the Year in that Super Series, where his name got put on the map and he won the title. That was the biggest shot I've seen him take since that fight. It's a testament to his disciplined defensive acumen. But even still, Tapales was finding holes, while Inoue was fighting defensively phenomenal, stepping in and out, jumping in and out, hopping just almost teleporting. It was so smooth. His ability he was able to slip punches by the skin of his nose consistently all night long, slipping left and right by mere inches. Again, his depth perception and distance management is phenomenal. Stepping back without stepping back, or rather scooting back without having to hop back to evade shots, rebounding off the ropes to then slip under. It was phenomenal. But again, Inoue had to do everything against Marlon Tapales. And Tapales was game all up until, I believe, that 10th round, when Inoue caught him with a 1-2, and then caught him with another 1-2. And the first 1-2 was blocked. Second 1-2 caught him right on the temple. Right on the temple. Right at the edge of your brow. Where it's almost like a corner. Caught him right there. Boom. Delayed reaction. Tapales finally goes down. And then Tapales, he couldn't get up. Now I didn't think it was hurt until it was like his body slowly shut down, like a computer. And when he tried to reboot, he just couldn't do it. Credit to Tapales. This brother gets gained my respect 10 times over. My goodness, that's a dog. That's a dog, Marlon Tapales. But Inoue came out on top and has now done something I never thought I would see in my lifetime. Became undisputed in 2 divisions in 1 year. 1 year. There's a reason why we've been saying this brother is again, since Terrence Crawford beat Errol Spence in such a dominant fashion, the second best fighter in all the world. But now, after this performance and with this accomplishment of becoming 2-time undisputed, of cleaning out every division or both divisions, which can be, he still has people to fight at super bantamweight. But in terms of cleaning out bantamweight, becoming undisputed, moving up to super bantamweight, fighting Stephen Fulton, knocking him out, absolutely outclassing him, and then taking on Marlon Tapales, who put up a better fight than Stephen Fulton. Wasn't scared, wasn't running, got into the thick of it. In fact, he was wary of the power in the first 3 rounds of the fight. And then he made that fight into a dog fight. He initiated going in on the inside and made it, and Inoue obliged. And next thing you know, boom, this turned into a real fight. Making Inoue have to change and evolve mid-fight. The whole time, it was phenomenal. A great chess match between 2 phenomenal fighters. And after overcoming both of these challenges and being undisputed champion at super bantamweight, accomplishing both of those in less than 12 months, there's nothing I can say. There's nothing I can say except for he is the best boxer in the world.